Hello everyone, I welcome you all. Today we'll conduct with the last numerical of your flexibility matrix method, that is the portal frame over here. So I have taken one portal frame here, that is A, B, C and D, which is subjected to certain loading over here. So in span AB, a point load is given at the center of 160 kilonewton. Then in span BC and CB, total uniformly distributed load is acting of 20 kilonewton per meter over there. So you have to analyze this complete frame using flexibility matrix method. So we'll start with our solution. That is, in that first step we will calculate the value of ds here. So ds, that is equal to total number of reactions minus 3. So we'll calculate total number of reactions. Here you are having fixed support, so total reaction will be 3. At D you are having hinge support, so total reaction will be 2. So 3 plus 2, total reaction will be 5 minus 3. So ds value we are getting equal to 2 here. That means you are having two numbers of excess constraints, or you have to assume 2 reactions out of the 5 reactions as the redundant forces or moments over there. So what I'll do, I'll consider, or I'll assume, suppose R1 is equal to vertical reaction at point D, suppose it is VD, and R2 is equal to horizontal reaction at point D, suppose it is acting in rightward direction as the redundant forces over there. Okay, I have told you how you have to assume the redundant. You have to assume those in such a way that the complete support at that point will get removed over there. So here I have assumed this as R1 and horizontal reaction as R2 over there, towards upward and towards rightward respectively. Now we'll draw the moment diagrams over here. Okay, so in that first we'll draw capital M diagram. In capital M diagram, what we do, we keep your given loadings as it is and we remove the redundant forces from your given diagram over there, right? So we remove these redundant forces, that is R1 and R2 from this. A will be fixed as it is, point B, C, and this will be your point D, and whatever loading is given to you, applied loading, that will keep as it is. Okay, so here I have done that. So whatever this diagram will be, that will be your capital M diagram. Okay, this is your 20 kilonewton per meter, same is this load, and this is given to 160 kilonewton over here. So that will be my capital M diagram, in which I have removed my assumed redundants over there. Now I'll draw small m1 diagram over here. In small m1 diagram, what we do, we remove the applied loads given to you and we just apply a unit positive load for your first coordinate. First coordinate we have to assume that is for the vertical reaction. So here that vertical reaction R1 will be equal to positive 1. Here this is your point E over here. Okay, 2 meter, 2 meter, this is your 4 meter, and this is your 3 meter over there. So what I have done, I have just removed all the given loads to you and I have taken a unit load at your first coordinate over there. This will be your small m1 diagram, and here I'll draw my small m2 diagram. In small m2 diagram, what we'll do, we have to take a unit positive load for your second coordinate over there. So second coordinate you have assumed for the horizontal reaction at point D, right? So here you'll consider that R2 is equal to 1 now. That will be a horizontal reaction for point D. So this will be my small M2 diagram. So I have done with the 3 diagrams over here. Now we will see for the moment table over there. In moment table we have the first column, that is the portion. Okay, second column, it is the origin. Next, origin, or we treat x is equal to 0 at that point. Next is capital M, small m1. Okay, next is small m2, and last is the limits of integration. Okay, here EI values are varying over there, that we'll consider directly in the numerical order. Okay, instead of considering those in table, you can consider those here also, no problem. Okay, here I'll write one more column, that is EI. So I'll start with my first portion. So first portion will start from the D end over there. So first portion here, that will be DC. Origin for that will be equal to D. Okay, so if D is the origin, your limits of integration will be D to D distance, that will be 0 to D to C distance, that is given to equal to 3 over there. So limits of integration will be from 0 to 3, and EI value for the DC member, it is given equal to I over there. Right, now we'll try to calculate this capital M, small m1 and small m2 diagrams over there. So for that, what we have to do, we have to pass this section in this selected portion over there from D as origin at a distance x. Okay, so here what I'll do, I'll pass this section in all my 3 diagrams over there, which is at a distance x from your origin point D. Same way I'll pass this section in M1 diagram also, and I'll pass this section in M2 diagram also at a distance x from your origin point over there. Now we'll try to calculate moments over there. So moment of all the forces from this selected origin to this section over there. So only one UDL you are having here, that is of 20 kN per meter. So moment of this 20 along this section, that will be intensity of UDL multiplied by its acting length is x. So that becomes 20 into x, and where that will act at the half of this x, so that will come equal to x by 2 over here, and that moment will be a clockwise, so it will come positive in nature. So if we simplify this, I'll get this as 10x square over there. Okay, next in small m1 diagram, we are having this axial load over here, that is r1 equal to positive 1. So moment of this axial load along this section, that will become directly 0. So m1 value is coming here 0. Next we'll see for m2 diagram. In m2 diagram, we are having this r2 equal to 1 along this section. So moment of this 1 along this section, that will be 1 into x, and that will be an anti-clockwise moment, so that will come minus x, and EI values is I, and limits of integration are from 0 to 3 over here. Okay, so this will be my first portion DC. Now I'll move for my second portion, that is CB over here. So I'll write my second portion CB. In that, now I'll change the origin from D point over there, because now my member geometry is getting changed from vertical, I'm going to the horizontal member. So here I'll consider C as my origin. Okay, so if you consider C as the origin, limits of integration will be how much? That will be from 0 to 4. So that comes from 0 to 4 over there, and EI value for this is again given to equal to I. So I'll write that over here. Now we'll see the values of M, M1 and M2 over here. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to pass this section in this portion CB over there, which is at a distance x from your selected origin point, that is C. Same way I'll pass this section in this diagram also, that is M1 diagram, and in M2 diagram also I'll pass the section over there. This is x, not x1. Right, now we'll see for capital M diagram. So you have to take the moment of all the forces or all the loadings along this section over there. So we are having 2 loadings over here, this vertical 20 kN per meter UDL and this horizontal 20 kN per meter UDL acting for a distance x over there. So this UDL will be completely acting on this UDL on this section over there. So moment of this UDL along this section, that will be how much? 20 into its complete length 3 multiplied by its lever arm will be a vertical distance. So that will come total 20 into 3 into half of 3, or you can take 3 by 2 over there, and that moment will be again a clockwise moment, so it will come positive here. Okay, next moment of this remaining 20 kN per meter horizontal UDL, that will be how much? Intensity of UDL multiplied by its acting length is x multiplied by its lever arm will be x by 2. So this again I'll get as plus 10x square over there. So if we simplify this, I'll get this value as 10x square plus 20 into 3 60, 60 into 1.5, that I get as 90 over here. So that I am getting 10x square plus 90. See, this is your the moment of vertical UDL on your span CD, and this is 10x square is the moment of your horizontal UDL BC span. Okay, so check this 20 into 3 into 1.5 plus 10 into x square. So total I am getting 10x square plus 90. Now we will see for M1 diagram. Now in M1 diagram you are having this R1 loading moment along this section over here. So moment of this R1 along this section will be 1 into its acting length will be horizontal now, that is lever arm will here you will be having horizontal length, so that will come 1 into x, and that moment is anti-clockwise in nature, so it comes equal to minus x over there. So that comes here minus x. And then in small M2 diagram, moment of this R2 along this section. Now for this your lever arm will be a vertical distance, but your section is also vertical. So what will happen? Moment of this R2 along this section will be how much? That will be 1 into its complete length traveling distance, that is 3. So that moment comes equal to 1 into 3, and anti-clockwise moment it will be again. So it comes minus 3 there. Okay. So my CB portion is done here. Now next in this portion or in the span BA you are having a point load at the center. So we will divide this into two. First we will select for BE portion and then we will go for EA portion over there. So next I will write here portion BE, and I will treat now B as my origin, because why? Again your geometry of the members are getting changed, that is you are going from horizontal to the vertical member again. So limits of integration will be from B to E 0 to 2. 0 to 2, and I value for that is given to equal to 2I over there. Right? So what you have to do? You have to pass again the section in the portion BE, which is at a distance x from your origin point B. In all the 3 diagrams, I will cut such type of section. Okay, I have done this. Now what we'll do? We'll calculate the moment values over here. Okay, so in capital M diagram, now see you have to take moment of 3 loadings. No, sorry, moment of 2 loadings along this section over there. So moment of this complete UDL and moment of this remaining UDL over there. Now if you see, now your section is horizontal and your whatever this length is given to you, that is section X, that is the vertical over there. So you have to multiply the lever arms accordingly. So for first portion we'll see this UDL. So UDL of on span CD, that is given to you 20 kilonewton per meter, but here along this section this whole UDL will be acting over there. Okay, you have to not consider only this much part of this section, but against that this CD span UDL, it is totally acting on this X section over there that we have selected. So moment of this span CD UDL, that comes equal to 20 into 3, but here now your lever arm will be not the distance of half of 3. What will happen? This 20 into 3, whatever this UDL we have calculated, that will be at the half of this 3, that is somewhere here. This is your 20 into 3, right? But if you consider the lever arm of your section over there, so influence of this 20 into 3, that will come somewhere here, right? So whatever distance you are getting this, you need a lever arm distance between these two lines over there. Okay, so that distance will be how much? Your selected distance x minus this 1.5. This distance is your 1.5 over there. Why? Because half of the 3, and it will this 20 into 3 will be acting at the acting distance half, that is 3 is half equal to 1.5. So whatever this 1.5 you are getting, you need this distance over there, so that you get from x minus this 1.5 over there. So this lever arm for this loading, that becomes x minus 1.5. Okay, so 20 into 3 into x minus 1.5, that will be your total moment of this UDL along this section. Now we'll see the moment of this BC, and this moment is again clockwise in nature, so that will come positive here. Okay, okay, moment of this 20 into 3 along this section, sorry, this will be an anti-clockwise moment, this will come negative over here. 20 into 3 into x minus 1.5. This will be an anti-clockwise moment. Along this, here it is acting, so along this section it will move in anti-clockwise direction over there. So that will be your negative over here. Okay. Now next moment of this UDL. So that will be clockwise moment. So that will come positive. That will be 20. This is simple. 20 into 4 into your horizontal length. That will be equal to 2. Okay. 20 into 4 into 2. That will be your total moment of this portion BC UDL. Next, no loading is remaining. So this will be your final moment over here. So if I simplify this, I have got this as 60x, this 20 into 3, that I will get as minus 60x, minus minus this will become plus, so 20 into 3 again 60, 60 into 1.5, that I will get as 90, plus 20 into 4 80, 80 into 2, that I will get as 160. So if I simplify this, I get this value equal to 160 plus 90, that I will get 250. So 250 minus 60 times of x will be the final moment value over here. Simplification mostly you have to do in the table itself. So here the maximum simplification, how much you will get, that you can do over here, so that your integration will be easy to solve. Okay, these terms, so many lengthy terms you can substitute in your calculator, but the chances of the errors are more over there. So that is why simplify the terms as much as you can, and then you can insert that easily in the calc. Okay. Now we'll see for M1 over there. In M1 you are having only this R1 loading over there. So R1 into complete length, that will be 4, and that is your anti-clockwise moment. So it will come negative. So minus 4 over there. And in M2 diagram, moment of this R2 along this section, that will be how much? That means moment of R2, here you are having this section influence over here at somewhere this point over there. So moment of this will be your lever arm length. So that will be how much? Total length 3 minus x, and that is your anti-clockwise moment. So I'll get again negative. So I'll get this as x minus 3. Okay. And the last portion remaining, that will see portion EA. Now here I'll not change the origin because you are on the same span, that is B. So I'll keep B as the origin itself as it is. So limits of integration will be how much? That will be 2 to 4. B to E distance, that is 2, and B to A distance, that will be 4 over there. Now we'll again see for your moment values over there. So what you have to do, you have to cut the section in this portion EA again at a distance, same section I will extend at a distance x over there. Same way here also I have to cut the section in this portion. Now your section is from x length. Okay, here you are having this new x now, right? Now you have to take the moment of all the sections over there. EI value is given to here 2i, so I'll write here 2i here. First we will see for this UDL. Again same total UDL will be acting, that is 20 into 3. Okay, and that will be acting at the half of this 3. So somewhere here it will be having influence. So lever arm of that force along this section will be how much? That will get x minus this 1.5. That is same, you are not changing the origin, so your moment value will remain again same, and that is anti-clockwise moment, so again it will come negative. Plus moment of this UDL, that will come again same, 20 into 4 into 2, half of the 4. Okay, now here one loading is increasing, that is load of 160 kilonewton, and that moment will be a clockwise. So here I'll write plus 160 into lever arm, for that this length will need. Okay, so for this length, that will be how much? X minus 2. So that comes here x minus 2, and that is a clockwise moment, so that comes positive over here. Okay, I'll simplify this, see what I'll get. Here I'll do the simplification. Minus 20 into 3 into x, that I get as minus 60x, minus minus plus, that will become 20 into 3 into 1.5, I get that as 90, plus 20 into 4 into 2, this I have got 160, plus 160x minus 160 into 2, that becomes 320 over here. Okay, so I'll simplify this for first for the value of x, minus 60x plus 160x, so I get that as plus 100x over there. Okay, this 90 plus 160, that is 250. 250 minus 320, that I'll get as 250 minus 320 as minus 70 I'll get. So this I'll write in this way, 100x minus 70. So this I am getting here, 100x minus 70. Okay, now in small m1 diagram, again 1 into 4, that is anti-clockwise, so you will get minus 4 here. We are not changing the origin, and same way here what you will get, here you are having x length over there, right? So moment of this along this section over there, that will be how much? Now that moment will be a clockwise moment, so this will come here positive in nature, and that how much you will get? X minus this 3 over there, so that will get plus x minus 3. Okay, now we'll move for our basic equation over there, that is, here I'll write that d is equal to dr plus f into r over there. D is equal to dr plus f into r. Now we'll solve for the values of this. So first D matrix, in that d1 and d2, because we are having only two unknowns over there, so d1 and d2, that will be again 0 because no any displacements are provided to. Next we'll solve for dr1 over there. So dr1 will be integration of m into m1 into dx upon ei over there. Now ei value is different for all the members, so we'll not take that as common over there. Okay, we'll solve for one by one. So what you have to do, you have to take the moment of m and m1 column. So but for first column here you are having 0, so that product will become 0. Next we'll solve for CP portion over there. So CP portion, limits of integration are from 0 to 4, so 1 upon ei into integration limits from 0 to 4, that will be 10x square plus 90 into minus x. 10x square plus 90 into minus x into dx. Okay, so this will be for your first portion, that is CB, plus next I'll solve for your third portion, that is portion BE over there. For that I value is given to equal to 2i, so this will come 1 upon 2ei common from this. Integration limits are here from 0 to 2 again. Okay, so if you see for this, here BE portion I have got m value 250 minus 60x and this as minus 4. So here that will come 250 minus 60x into minus 4 into dx. This is for your next portion BE, plus next for we will solve for your last portion, that is EA. So EA you are having 100x minus 70 into minus 4. So integration limits 1 upon 2 EA as it is. Limits of integration are from 2 to 4. Okay, that I am getting 100x minus 70 into minus 4. 100x minus 70 into minus 4 into dx over there. Okay, so if you solve this for dr1 value, I have got dr1 is equal to minus 3040 upon ei. You check this value, how much you are getting. Okay, next I'll solve for dr2. dr2 is equal to integration of m into m2 into dx divided by ei over here. Okay, so you have to multiply m and m2 columns over here. That means these two columns you have to multiply m and m2. So from first portion we will see, that is portion DC. I value is provided to equal to I. Limits of integration are from 0 to 3. So 1 upon ei, limits of integration from 0 to 3. What that will get? 10x square into minus x. So I'll get that as minus 10x cube into dx, and that is for your first portion DC, plus for second portion again 1 upon ei common, integration limits. Okay, for CB portion that is from 0 to 4 and value will be 10x square plus 90 into minus 3 and I value is I here. So limits of integration are from 0 to 4 again. Okay, 10x square plus 90 into minus 3 into dx plus for next portion 1 upon ei again, integration limits, that is be portion we are having. Okay, for be portion here I value is equal to 2i, sorry, so this will become 2ei again. Limits of integration are from 0 to 2, values will be 250 minus 60x into x minus 3, 250 minus 60x into x minus 3 into dx, and that is your for portion BE. This was for your CB. Plus last 1 upon 2 E again, limits of integration are from 2 to 4. This one 100x minus 70 into x minus 3. 100x minus 70 into x minus 3 into dx over here. So this will be my complete expression for this, and from this I have got dr2 is equal to minus 2289.16 divided by ei, minus 2289.16 divided by ei over here. Next we will solve for the flexibility coefficients over there, that is the third part. F matrix, f of 1 1, f of 1 2, f of 2 1 and f of 2 2. So first we will solve for f of 1 1, that is the direct flexibility, that is your integration of m1 into dx divided by ei over there. So again for all the portions we will solve this. So for first portion DC, in first portion DC, limits of integration from 0 to 3, I value m1 is coming 0, so that will become 0 over there. Next for CB portion, limits of integration from 0 to 4, this will come minus x into minus x, so that will become plus x square. So here my value comes from 1 upon ei 0 to 4 x square into dx, that is for my first portion CB, plus next portion 1 upon 2 ei value is given to you, that is B portion, this I am getting as minus 4. Okay, so minus 4 into minus 4, that becomes plus 16 within limits of integration from 0 to 2. So this I will get 0 to 2 plus 16 into dx, plus this is for your second portion BE over there. Okay, next 1 upon 2 ei again as it is, integration limits, that is for the last portion EA we will solve. Again I am getting minus 4 within limits 2 to 4 and ei value is 2i over there. So 1 upon 2 ei, limits of integration from 2 to 4, 16 into dx over there. So this if you solve, I have got f of 1 1 is equal to 53.33 upon ei. Okay, so f of 1 1 I am getting equal to 53.33 upon ei. Next we will solve for f of 2 2 matrices, that is integration of m2 into dx divided by ei over there. So we will start from again first portion over there. First portion is your portion DC. In that m2 you are having x minus x, so minus x into minus x, that will become plus x square within limit 0 to 3 for the I value. So this I will get 1 upon ei 0 to 3 x square into dx, and that is for my first portion DC, plus 1 upon ei again, integration limits. We will solve for next portion, that is CB. This value you are getting minus 3 within limits 0 to 4 and I value is I. So minus 3 into minus 3, that will become plus 9 into dx within limits 0 to 4. Okay, and that is for your second portion, that is CB. Plus we will move to your next portion, 1 upon ei value is here equal to 2ei within limits of integration from 0 to 2. Okay, that is B portion, within limits of integration from 0 to 2 we are having this 2i value x minus 3 into x minus 3, so that will become x minus 3 square into dx, plus, and the last portion, this is for your portion BE order, and last portion EA is remaining. For that again limits of integration are from 0 to 2 to 4. For that you are getting this value again x minus 3 into dx. Okay, so if you solve this, I have got f of 2 is equal to 47 upon EI. So f of 2 I am getting as 47 upon EI. Next, we'll solve for indirect flexibility values. F of 12 is equal to f of 21, that is our integration of m1 into m2 into dx divided by EI order. Okay, so for that, for first portion you are having m1 0, so that becomes 0 here. Next, we'll solve for CB portion. So this comes x minus x into minus 3, that becomes plus 3x within limit 0 to 4 for I order. So 1 upon EI, limits of integration within 0 to 4, that becomes 3 times of x into dx, that is for your second portion CB, plus 1 upon 2 EI within limits of integration 0 to 2 order, that is for your portion BE order. Okay, so this I get within limits 0 to 2 I value x minus 3 into minus 4. So I get this as minus 4 into x minus 3 into dx, that is for your portion BE, plus for the last portion again 1 upon 2 EI within limits of integration from 0 to 4. Okay, so this value I get again minus 4 into x minus 3 within limits 2 to 4 order. 2 to 4 minus 4 into x minus 3 into dx, and that is for my last portion EA. So from this I have got f of 12 is equal to f of 21 as 32 upon EI. Okay, you substitute these values very carefully in the calculator because more lengthy equations are coming over there. So take care while substituting the values over there. Now what I'll do, I'll solve or I'll write all the terms in my matrix form over there. So D values both I am getting 0 is equal to dr1, from that 1 upon EI will come common. So dr1 I am getting here 3040 minus, and this I am getting as minus 2289.16 plus f values, again from f value 1 upon EI will come common over there. So f of 11 I am getting equal to 53.33, f of 21 I am having 32, 21 I am having 32, and f of 22 I am getting as 47 over there multiplied by R1 and R2. So here two equations you will get. The first equation will be what? Row multiplied by column, that is 53.33 of R1 plus 32 of R2, that you get equal to 3040 as equation number 1. Here your EI value, these both are 0, so EI if I multiply that to that, it becomes 0 over there. And second equation I will get as second row multiplied by column, that is 32 of R1 plus 47 of R2 is equal to plus 2289.16. This going after towards the LHS will become positive order. So these two expressions I am getting. I will solve these two expressions for the values of R1 and R2 over there. R1 is nothing but your vertical reaction at point D VD, and R2 is nothing but your horizontal reaction at point D HD over there. So this if I solve, I have got R1 is equal to 46.96 kilonewton positive, and R2 I have got 16.72 kilonewton again positive over there. That means both values are getting positive. Your assumed directions are correct. Assumed directions are which one? You have to assume R1 as upward and R2 towards the right direction. So here that will act towards the upward R1, and R2 will act towards the right direction over there. So these two values I have got now. Now I can say my indeterminate frame is converted to the determinate one. Okay, so I'll calculate the remaining reactions from this. 20 kilonewton per meter, A, B, C, and this is my point D. Here I am having a load of 160 kilonewton, 2 meter, 2 meter, this is my 4 meter, and this is given to me equal to 3 meter over there. Okay, these two unknown values I have calculated. That is the first value of R1 equal to 46.96, and this is my second R2 value, that is 16.72 over there. Now from this what I'll do, I'll calculate the remaining reactions. So you're having fixed support, 3 number of reactions, 1 vertical, 1 horizontal, and 1 moment over there. Suppose this is MA, this is VA, and this is HA over there. Okay, so we'll calculate these 3 reactions over there. For that what we'll do, first summation of moment at A is equal to 0, treating clockwise moments as positive over there. So what expression you'll get, you have to take moment of all the forces given to you along this point A over there. So we'll start from point A, you are having there as minus MA, okay, plus moment of 160, clockwise it is, so it will be plus 160 into 2. Next, moment of this BC portion UDL, that will be 20 into 4 into 4 by 2, that is 2, plus moment of this UDL, that will be 20 into 3 into, now this will be acting at your 1.5 over there. So from that 1.5, total length will be how much? 4 minus this 1.5 will be lever arm for that particular force over there. So that comes how much? That comes equal to 4 minus 1.5 equal to 2.5. But that moment will be your anti-clockwise in nature. So instead of here plus, that will get as negative. Next, moment of this 46.96, that will be again anti-clockwise. So minus 46.96 into perpendicular distance is your 4. Okay, and then last is the moment of this 16 along this section, that will be again a clockwise moment. So it will be plus 16.72 multiplied by, now this will acting at a 3 distance, so 4 minus this 3, that will come equal to 1 is equal to 0. So from this I have got MA is equal to 158.88 kilonewton meter as positive over there. Positive what indicates that my assumed direction of the given taken moment is correct. MA is acting in anti-clockwise direction over there. Next, I'll calculate the remaining reactions. For that, I'll use summation of Fx condition first. Rightward forces positive is equal to 0. So what I'll get from this, you have to take only horizontal forces in this. So plus HA plus 160, okay, plus this 16.72, and what is will be remaining, this UDL will be also acting horizontally, and that will be towards the left. So it will come minus 20 into 3 is equal to 0. So from this HA I have got equal to 116.72 kilonewton, but negative I am getting this. What this negative indicates here, it is acting towards the left direction, that is my assumed direction is towards the right is wrong. So HA will be acting towards the left. And last, that I will use for summation of F of y, upward forces positive is equal to 0. So you have to consider only vertical forces in this. So first vertical force VA minus this downward acting UDL, that will be 20 into 4. Next, this vertically acting upward reaction plus 46.96 is equal to 0. So from this VA I am getting as 33.04 kilonewton positive again. Positive what indicates that your assumed direction of VA is correct. VA is acting in upward direction. So these 3 reactions I have got, I will mark those over here. MA I am getting as 158.88. Next VA I am getting is equal to 33.04, and HA its direction is getting opposite, so I will correct the directions here and I will show that towards the leftward. That value I am getting equal to 116.72 over here. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll try to plot the bending moment by superposition over there. Okay. So for that what I'll do, I'll separate my 3 members over here. So this is my first member here. Here I am having the second member, and below that I am having the third member here. Okay, this is my member AB, this is B, C, and this will be your CD. So what I'll do, I'll show the loadings on that given to you as it is. This is 20 kilonewton per meter and 4 meter. This is again 20 kilonewton per meter and length is 3 meter, and here I am having a point load of 160 kilonewton, 2 meters and 2 meters over there. Okay, along with this I'll show the obtained reactions to you, right? So this all 3 plus 2, 5 reactions I'll show here. So here I am getting VA as 33.04. next HA I have got as 116.72. next MA, here I am getting anticlockwise in nature, so that I'll show that MA is nothing but your value of MAB. Okay, so that is 158.88. next here 2 reactions I am having, that is vertical reaction at point C I have got equal to 46.96, and this horizontal reaction here I have got it equal to 16.72 over here. Okay, now from this what I have to do is that I am having only one support moment here, MAB. From that I have to calculate support moment at B for BA, support moment at B for BC, support moment at C for CB, support moment at C for CD, and support moment at D for DC. But if you see over here, this will be your incapable support here, that is D is the hinge support. So here eventually final moment you must get here 0 over there. We'll check that whether you are getting 0 or not. If you do not get 0 by the calculations over there, that means you are made a mistake somewhere over in your calculations over there. Okay, you are somewhere these reactions, whatever you have calculated, these are somewhere wrong over there. We'll try to solve this. So first you have to calculate the moment at B end for the BA over there. So what I'll do, I'll take moment at this point simply. So initially what I'll do, I'll assume, suppose this MBA moment is acting clockwise in nature. So here I am writing as MBA over there is equal to, right? So here what I'll do, I'll take summation of MBA is equal to 0, treating clockwise moments again positive. So you have to take moment of all the forces just in member AB. Okay, so what will happen, this moment of all the forces just in member AB, that will be how much? Moment of, will start from A end over there. So first this vertical reaction 33.04 will be actual load to this, so moment of that will become 0. I'll not write that over here. You are having MAB anti-clockwise in nature, so that I'll get as minus 158.88. next moment of this 116.72 along this will be clockwise in nature, so that will come plus 116.72 multiplied by its lever arm will be 4 up to point B, right? Next this 160 will be anti-clockwise in moment, so 160 into 2, and along with that plus MBA is equal to 0. So if you solve for this, MBA I have got equal to 12 kilonewton meter positive. See, this is 158.88, right? I'll solve over here. Minus 158.88 plus 116.72 into 4 minus 160 into 2. So this I am getting minus over here. When it goes to the LHS side, that I'll get plus. So here MBA I am getting equal to 12. Okay, so here I'll write the value of that. MBA is equal to 12 kilonewton meter, right? Now if you apply the boundary condition at this point B, what I'll get, that will be MBA plus MBC shall be equal to 0, right? But MBA I am getting equal to 12, so MBC will be equal to how much? This will go over here, that I'll get as minus 12. What minus indicates that here it is acting opposite to MBA direction. So MBA is clockwise here, so this will be anti-clockwise in nature. So here I am getting this MBC as anti-clockwise 12, right? Same way now we'll calculate the moment for C joint over here, that is MCB you have to calculate. But for MCB what we'll need the vertical forces at this point over here. So for calculating those vertical force, if you see, this is your axial force 33.04, right? So if you see this axial force, same axial force will be acting opposite to here, and same axial load will be again acting opposite to this point over there. So that will come equal to 33.04, right? Now, or you can call this as RB or VB value over there. From this what we'll do, we'll calculate this RC value over there first. Okay, so RC, how we'll get? By taking moment at your C point over there. Or if you see RC from this, here at point D, the vertical reaction here you are getting as 46.96. So same reaction will be acting over here, just in the opposite direction. If this is acting compressive in nature, this will be also compressive, and here it will become again compressive. So here RC, I'll get this value as 46.96 again, right? So from this 46.96 and this 33.04, I can calculate now moment at point C. Suppose what I am doing, I'll assume that this moment initially it is acting in clockwise direction over there. That is your value of MCB. Okay, it is acting in clockwise direction. So we'll calculate that. How we can calculate? You can take moment either at point B or either at point C over there. Okay. See, here I'll do the calculations. Suppose I take moment at joint C is equal to 0, again treating clockwise moments positive. So what expressions I'll get? You have to take moments only in the member BC now. So moment of this first MBC, that is anti-clockwise minus 12. Next, moment of this vertical point load 33.04, that will be clockwise in nature. So plus 33.04 multiplied by its lever arm will be completely 4, right? Next, moment of this UDL, that will be anti-clockwise. So minus 20 into 4 into its lever arm will be half of the 4, that is 2, and plus this MCB is equal to 0. So if we calculate this, I have got MCB is equal to 39.84 kilonewton meter positive. Positive what indicates that my assumed direction will be correct. So MCB will be also acting clockwise in nature. So this I am getting as 39.84 over there. Okay. So if this is 39.84 over there, that is clockwise. If you again take condition of equilibrium at joint C, what will be that? MCB plus MCD shall be equal to 0. Okay. So MCD how much you will get? That will be equal to minus of MCB value. So that will be minus 39.84. That means whatever here value you are getting, this will be clockwise. So this will be anti-clockwise in nature over there. That will be your value of MCD is equal to 39.84, but just in anti-clockwise direction over there. Now we'll check from this all these values whether moment at this point at the incapable support D you are getting 0 or not. Okay. So for that what I'll do, I'll take summation of moment at D is equal to 0. Okay. Therefore we'll check this MCD, that is anti-clockwise moment. So minus 39.84 over here, minus 39.84. Next, moment of this 20, that will be over here. Okay. So that will be 20 into 3 into half of 3, that is 1.5, and that will be again anti-clockwise in nature. Okay. What is remaining more? This 16.72, whatever this is given to, we can calculate this force over here. So here HC I am getting that equal to 43.84. Here I am not having more space over here. So here I will write that. Okay. This HC, this I am getting as 43.28. How I got this 43.28? Whatever this, if I apply Fx condition for this I am getting plus 16.72 minus this UDL will get 20 into 3. Okay. So this I am getting as 43.28 positive towards the rightward direction. So moment of this 43.28, that will be acting here, that will be also considered, that will be clockwise in nature. So plus 43.28 into complete length 3. So you calculate this, what I'll get this as minus 39.84 minus 20 into 3 into 1.5 plus 43.28 into 3. So this value I am getting equal to 0 over there. That means moment coming here, that is coming 0. That means my calculated reactions are very correct. Right? Now we'll plot BMD by superposition for this. So here fast we'll do this and short diagram I'll draw for this. Okay, this is my AB CD over here. At joint A I am having which moment? That is the anticlockwise moment, negative it is, so it will plot it on the outward side, 158.88. Next at point B, for BA I am having positive moment, so again it will be plotted on the outward side, that is 12. Join these two by a straight line. Next for BC we will see, here we are having minus 12, so again on the upward side you have to use the sign conventions, negative, positive, positive and negative over there. This sign conventions you have to use, same that we have done in slope deflection and moment distribution method. Here you are having clockwise, that is positive moment, 39.84, so that will go again upward direction, 39.84. Next here we are having again anti-clockwise, that is negative moment, so that will go on outward side, 39.84, and here we are having that equal to 0. Just join this by a straight lines over there. Now we will calculate span moments for this. Span moments MAB, MBC and MCD. AB point load is given, so WL by 4 at the center, so W here is 160, length is your 4 divided by 4, so I'll get this directly 160. Next BC you are having UDL, so that will become WL square by 8. W is given to 20, length is your 4, so 20 into 4 square divided by 8, I am getting this is equal to 40 kilonewton meter. And this again UDL you are having, so that will be WL square by 8. W is again 20, but length is now 3, so 20 into 3 square divided by 8, I am getting this as 22.5 kilonewton meter. Okay, so I'll plot this 160 point load at the center, so greater than this 158, somewhere here it will be. This is my 160. Next here UDL I am having, that I am getting equal to 40, so greater than this 39 here, and the last value this I am getting as 22.5, again UDL for this, so somewhere here it will be 22.5, and what you have to do is just shade the superimposed part here. This is my A, B, C and D joint, and this diagram is your BMD by superposition over there. I hope you have understood this numerical very easily. Some complex loading was given to you in this, and the calculation of moment table, that is this calculations was somewhat hectic here, but you have to do those very correctly. You take your time for calculating moment calculations, but if this comes wrong, your whole numerical further will get wrong over here. Okay, you check these values. If you found any difficulty, you please comment to me. Okay, I'll give you some numericals for the assignment over here. You can take these numericals as your assignment problems, or you can try to solve this for you. First numerical is for a continuous beam, second is a portal frame, and third is again of continuous beam. This numerical is very easy, only one portion you are having, so it will be solved within 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, you have to solve this numerical at least in 20 to 25 minutes. One numerical shall be get solved over there. Okay, so if you want answers for this, you please comment me for the answers. Thank you so much.